And I really thought at one point the likelihood of us getting off these is
very, very slim.
and actually maybe we just don't bother. Maybe we just forever use these and we'll just go with it. Hello, welcome back. My name is Angie Tuari. I'm a new mum to baby boy Brody, and today I'm going through how I managed to wean him and myself off nipple shields. Very niche video, I know, but when I was struggling with using nipple shields or struggling to get off them, I just didn't really feel there was much content on YouTube that I could really listen to another mother and resonate with. So I hope that in creating this, you feel less alone if you're going through this journey. So to rewind, let's bring it back to why we're using nipple shields. Firstly, when I was pregnant, I heard a lot of bad stuff about nipple shields. They're really bad for you. They interfered with breastfeeding, etc., etc. So I kind of thought they were the demon and not to be used. However, my baby had tongue tie and lip tie, which tongue tie especially is really common. It's 1 in 10 babies, more common in boys, which I did know. Obviously, I didn't know that he would necessarily have it. And what I didn't know is that nipple shields are amazing for helping a baby who has tongue tie still latch on and get breast milk, but get it in a way that is not as painful to the mother. Now, I'm sure that depends according to your circumstance, but for me that was very much true, and it was an absolute lifesaver when we hadn't had his tongue tie and lip tie corrected and I still wanted to breastfeed. I still wanted him to get breast milk, and I didn't want my breast milk to dry up. I don't think it can dry up, but I basically didn't want to give myself mastitis, and when I wasn't feeding as much in this way, my boobs were getting really large and hard and just really uncomfortable. So I'm so glad that we used nipple shields. If you want to learn more about the video about tongue tie and lip tie and how we got that sorted, then I will link the video up here in the cards so you can have a look at it later. Long story short, we got the tongue tie sorted, we got the lip tie sorted, and then we were still using the nipple shield. And basically he would not latch on unless there was a nipple shield. And so I just thought maybe this is what we're going to have to use forever, and he'll never latch on to the boob without the nipple shields. But it all changed and I managed to wean him off them. Here are my top 3 tips as to how I did it, and hopefully that will help you if you are struggling with this as well. So the first one is to not start straight with the boob, it's to start with the nipple shields on. This is because the baby is quite confident and comfortable already. And then what I would do is halfway through or a quarter of the way through, or whenever it was that I felt baby was in a good feeding position, if they kind of came off naturally, I would literally whip that nipple shield off, throw it to the side, and then get them straight back on. They were almost tricked into thinking that it was still there, and they'd already established a good latch. So he was already feeding well, established that good latch, and then when I removed the nipple shield, he actually maintained it. So that was an absolute game changer. It isn't the best because you kind of have to start with the nipple shields and you're trying to get rid of using them, but it works a charm, just that little bit of trickery. The second one is knowing, and I think this is really a story for all new mothers, that every day is different. And when you know that every day is different, and you know that every day something can change and every day is not the same, and on one day he might absolutely hate not using nipple shields and really struggle to latch on, the next day he might latch on perfectly. And so I think in knowing that, and that applies to so many things, but I think in knowing that, it means that you're more confident in, okay, it's a new day, let's just try direct to boobs, not try to start with the nipple shields, and let's just see. And maybe he latches on for a short amount of time, maybe he still cries and doesn't want to latch on at all, and you need to revert back to step 1, which is to use the nipple shields, a little switcheroo. But just try and get your baby to latch on to the boob and see what happens. Even if you think they're still gonna hate it, they might really surprise you and they might actually be absolutely fine. And then lastly, I would say be persistent. I really wanted to breastfeed. I don't have a plan as to how long I breastfeed for. I don't have an expectation or anything like that, but I just wanted to do it. I'm so glad that in the darkest times when it was so challenging and so emotionally draining and so exhausting on me and probably on him as well, I'm really glad that I persevered. I'm really glad that I was persistent. I really thought that it would be challenging forever, and it isn't. It's really easy and simple and lovely now, and I'm really hope that if you are struggling, this gives you a little bit of hope that it can change, and have a little bit of faith. Keep trying. Of course, if it's too much on you and you would rather give formula or combi feed, do that. Make a decision as to what is best for you. Every single parent parents differently. You need to do what works best for you. But be persistent with it. If you do want to breastfeed, just keep trying, keep going at it, keep trying without the nipple shields. Be kind to yourself, be patient with yourself, because a lot of pent up frustration and anger that can arise when you're going through this process. So be kind to yourself, be persistent, keep trying, patience, and you will get there in the end. If you want to learn more about how we got his tongue tie sorted, there are basically two options. You can get it lasered off or you can get it cut. I will link the video to explain why I made the decision that I made between getting it cut or getting it lasered. Also link my honest and emotional breastfeeding journey, which basically goes into a lot more detail as to what that looked like for me. I think personally, I really underestimated and I feel very naive when I was thinking about breastfeeding, what it would actually look like. It takes 30% of your body's energy to breastfeed. Your brain takes 20% of your energy. It's really, really exhausting. And as wonderful as it is, it still can be really draining and tiring. And there were moments in my breastfeeding journey at the start that I was like, I literally hate this. And that's when it was really challenging because I thought I would love it. I had this expectation of what it would be like and it'd be really easy and beautiful. And the reality is for many mothers, including myself, it's not actually like that. And it can feel like you're doing it wrong, or you're doing something wrong, and you're not. It is challenging and it takes time, and there's lots of different things that might come up, like a tongue tie, like a lip tie, premature babies. There's just so many different things that might arise for you. So be nice to yourself. You're doing an incredible job, and I really hope this video helped, and the other videos that I share here help as well. Check out my playlist. I've got a whole playlist on pregnancy, postnatal, baby life, and also some meditations and affirmations and those kind of things. Make sure that you hit subscribe. It makes a really big difference. I will see you very soon in our next video. Bye.